Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Quetv Multimedia. We have Project Keep Them Off the Streets, and we have a joint effort tonight for you, ladies and gentlemen. And we got one of our awesome brothers, man. We talking and conversing on what's been going on in the community, man. So y'all let your hair down. Feel free to jump in either on Zoom. The link is in the description. This is just a community thing, man. We weren't worrying about promoting all the brands and all that kind of stuff, man. This is a serious topic that we have going on. The good brother on the phone, Brother Rick, he gonna come on and tell you what he have going on in his campaign of what he's actually doing. And he's in Florida, Duval County, stand up 904. He's also, producer, Prime Beatz, and he gonna tell you all about it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all stay tuned. Get you something to drink, get you something to eat. Also, share this feed. You can also come on the live with us on Zoom, or put your comments in the comment section on Facebook, Quetv Multimedia. I am Dr. Harper, creative mind behind Quetv Multimedia, where pictures are worth 1,000 words, but the video tells it all. Also, I am the founder and president over at Project Keep Them Off the Streets Incorporated. We call it PCOTS, and you just heard the acronym Project Keep Them Off the Streets. So we're gonna give y'all a minute, man, to share this feed. Tell the young folks to get on, the parents, the grandparents, the guardians. We want to talk about it. We want to talk about what's going on. We don't just want to talk about what's going on, but we also want to give you guys some solutions, some hand ups and not handouts. You understand? It's good seeing y'all. Thank y'all for the support. Thank you for logging on. Share the feed, share the link. Tell somebody to tell somebody that if they still in recess, playtime been over. You heard me. Rick Smith in the building, y'all. We want to show some love, and participate and act like if it was you on the other side. Act like you want somebody to give you all the love and your flowers while we still alive. You know what I'm saying? Rick Smith, how you doing, my brother?
What's happening, my boy? Everything good over here.
So enough, man. I got to tell him, man, God over everything, man. Thank God for another day above ground. And, life is for the living, man. So our topic today, y'all remember to put the questions or your comments in there, man. This is a community open forum, or we are mainstream, and our good brother right here, and he has his mainstream. We both came from the streets, and what you're looking at are testimonies from our lifespan and our experience. So that's what we're going to be speaking from, and whatever education that we have learned along the way. Rick Smith, talk to us, brother.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm Rick Smith, Jacksonville, Florida, Duval County. One half of the group Iron Sharpen Iron. Iron Gang is the movement, and what we do, man, we go on youth detention centers, we do outreach ministry, and we try to reach at-risk youth, man. And right now, we're on the campaign, Put the Choppers Down. With all the gun violence going on, I know here in Jacksonville, these kids killing each other like it's the new norm or something, man, and we got to show them something different, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And before we even jump in that fish grease, what do you think is going on with the youth, man? I know we know it's not just the youth, but we know we know what's going on. And just from your perspective, what do you see? Is it the drugs? Is it the parenting? Is it the elders stop teaching? Is it the men, fathers not at home? From your intellect, what do you think on? What do you think going on?
I think it's a mixture of things. First, I got to take accountability. We didn't show them the right way. You know what I mean? When I was out there ripping and running the streets, you was out there ripping and running in the streets. We was really concerned about what we was doing, and we didn't show them the way. So with each generation, it's gotten worse, man. And also the music, as you can see, it's an agenda behind it. These cats telling them to go shoot this here and kill this here and all that. They'll go spin the block. So it's been fed to them. From movies to entertainment. And then I would say somewhat with the parenting in a sense. You know what I mean? We could raise a kid up in the right way, just like me. I was raised right, but I had that part of the son season too, you feel me? So the drugs, of course, they on everything right now. You know what I'm saying? They on some of everything that plays a part as well.
So Rick Smith, giving your rundown, man, let them know where you're from, and then just give us a little background of the time frame that you may have jumped off the porch. You know what I mean? And give us a little history on yourself, my brother.
Yeah, originally I'm from the nation of the city. I was born in St. Augustine, Florida, which is about 20, 30 minutes from Jacksonville, but I became a man up here. I jumped off the porch at 14, head first in them trenches, sacking up green, like I said in the song. And man, I was missing love. You know, I come from a broken home, you know what I mean? And mama left me and my brother and sister, so my grandma raised us. So I jumped in the streets looking for love, looking for some money, but didn't know the love I was missing was in Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? And pretty much, man, I did some prison time. I got arrested January 7, 2007. And that was probably the best thing that happened to me because, man, I was getting knee deep out there, man. And, like, it's only one or two things come with that. You know what I mean? And God spared me, in a sense, with me going to prison. So, like I said, it was a blessing to get my mind right. And I vowed when I got out, I was going to do the right thing. So that's what I'm doing now, man. Hitting these youth detention centers, doing outreach ministry, mentoring where I can, and also through the music, man. I know God blessed me with the talent to glorify him, and that's what we're doing through the music as well, because you got to fish with the right bait to reach these kids, man.
Like myself, man, we share the same testimonial, man, and blessing. My upbringing was a little different, man. My household, both parents, loving sisters, the whole nine. And it was like once I ventured off into the streets, man, that thing grabbed a hold of me, right? And a lot of time, you know, we become to be married to the streets. And I try to tell the youth as well, man, you know, sometimes I feel like you can't escape it unless your immediate family has outlets. You know what I mean? I'm so much of a youth advocate that I'm like, I understand. You know, when I talk to the youth, I'm like, man, I've been there, done that. I understand. But now that I am a survivor, then I just want to speak from that survival standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like the experience, like most people don't know. I was shot close range with a 12-gauge shotgun, man, by one of my peers. I've been stabbed. I've been kidnapped, man. I've been beaten with guns. I've been into all of those things. And when I created Project Keep Them Off the Streets, and that's exactly what I'm saying, because of my experiences and what I've lived through. Like I said, a survivor, I just felt like God saw fit for me to still be here and just to reach back. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I say he kept you.
Yeah, he kept me, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been through so many of those. And see, the youth, they believe in all this clicked up, and they believe in this friendship, man. And it's like, man, I've been in some situation, man, what I thought to be considered my day ones. You know what I mean? We all had scraps and guns, but it's like, I tell people this at the same time. If you're riding around with some people and they consider themselves goons and robbers and murderers and killers, to me, at this point, it's like, if that's the title they hold, to me, it's almost like it's just a matter of time before they do those same things to you. Eventually, somewhere in there, you're gonna get crossed out. And we just gonna keep it real tonight, because there are some friends, but then somebody told me you have 3 or 4 or 5 friends in your entire life. So I'm always asking, who are these other people? Who are these other people that we entwining and getting in bed with, because we're using that friendship so loosely. And what we mean by friendship for the young folk that might be on, and we're talking about peers. We're going to be talking about peer pressure, you know, and that comes with everything from the home to school to drugs, you know. So go ahead, my brother. You wanted to gesture to say something.
Yeah, man, what I was gonna say, pretty much what I tell the kids, man, anybody that gonna send you to crash don't love you. So that's what I tell them before they get out of the facilities. Man, I already write down you some plans and goals. Start with the 30-day goals, 60-day goals, 90-day goals, 120-day goals. The first thing you need to write down is the change of people, places, and things. Because if you get back out there doing the same thing with the same people, you're going to be in that revolving door, man. And I know here in Florida, man, the statistics show, just like last year, statistics, it showed 80% of the kids, juvenile offenders, end up back in the system within the first 2 years of being released, man. So, you know how we were chopping it up the other day, and I told you, man, my goal is to start a safety net for them when they get out, man. Once I start this nonprofit, a place for them to go after they get out of there that's safe, man. You know, so that's really what I'm working towards in this season, man. And I know God gonna breathe on it.
Right. I told you I had a video that I wanted to share with the people, and I think I'm gonna share that video right quick if I can get it up, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about it. Can you see that video?
Yeah, I see it. It's playing. I don't hear the audio though. Still no audio on it, bro.
It's all the way up. All the way up.
Yeah, I can hear you. I just can't hear the video.
Oh wow. No sound at all?
Nah, just you.
No sound?
No sound.
I couldn't hear you. Why? About now?
Nothing at all.
Let's do this. We're gonna come out of that, because if it don't want to act right, then we we most definitely we'll come back to that later on. But Mr. Smith, let's talk about growing up from knee high to a grasshopper, man. Like, how important is spirituality, man? Because I've been hearing like these kids, they have lost hope. They don't believe in nothing, man. They don't understand a higher power. And I know from your aspect, you going on your jail tours and stuff like that, and you and telling the prisoners about a man. You know what I'm saying? And talk to us about that, man. And first of all, what do you think about the youth that kind of like, I know they don't understand, so I don't want to use my words loosely. I won't say they're going astray, but I feel like sometimes they don't know the importance of their spirituality, that we are spirits first, having a human experience. How do you come at the youth, man, with the spirituality, man?
Well, like I was saying earlier, we got to fish with the right bait. So I usually give them my story, man, my testimony, and let them know how God brought me out and the things that I've been through, even on this walk, man. And then, of course, with the music, it baits them in too. And with the music, I'm pointing straight to God every time, but the beat catching their ear, so they have questions about the music, have questions about my testimony, and then that's how I point them to God. So you can use your own personal life experiences, man, to really point them kids to God. You know what I mean? Because if you just try to hit them across the head with a Bible, you in the losing battle off the rip, you know?
Right. And for the parents, we're gonna stick right here for a minute, man, because I feel like most times a lot of us have tried everything we can try, right? And community wise, a lot of parents are not bringing their kids to church. What can we say to the parents right now that are in whatever faith they're in? Because we know that that's important, right? You got to believe in themselves. And when they look in the mirror, who that person is and who created that person and all the likeness and all the things that come with it. What would you tell to the parents, man, about, you know, that faith walk, that faith talk, and the role it plays for them to ensure that they have them in that right light, man, to understand that we know some of them are going to veer off, but like you said, the prodigal son, when we plant that seed, a lot of time, it's just the seed itself that when it harvests, we always come back some kind of way versus those that never got the seed. You understand what I'm saying? Speak on it, bro.
So me in the household, I would say you got to live it first. You got to live it in front of your kids. If they see you just going to church, to the building on Sunday, and then you acting another way while you at the house, you already prepping them to be like that too. So you got to show them, you know what I mean? And then break bread with them in the word, man. They got teenage Bibles and things. You know, let them know the importance of the relationship with Christ. Let them know what Christ done brought you through. You know what I'm saying? How Christ continue to keep you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And we always.
Yeah, in my household, I used to try to, because I got a teenage son and daughter, 3-year-old, and my wife, and I used to try to force Bible study, but I had to back off, you know, and really just let them see my walk, man, and just let them kind of have their own relationship. And, you know, as they see me the way I walk, you know what I'm saying? I'm not totally perfect in the flesh, but in love I am, you know. That's the only way we can be perfect is in love. And I see them develop into their own relationship. You know what I mean? If you try to force something on them kids, you're going to push them away, but you really got to live this thing in front of them, man.
Right. I'm hoping the parents understanding that, like, taking them to the building is one thing, teaching them is another thing. But, you know, oftentimes I think we forget that our children mimic what we do. And you just hit the needle on the head, like going to the building and then coming back home and doing the other things. And then we want to know why they don't want to come to the building no more. You understand what I'm saying? You living that double standard. So what I'm saying is, to each his own. But if a child is coming to church or whatever, you know, whatever they're involved in it's positive and it's good, and they're coming there to learn because they only know what we introduce to them. So if they're being introduced to this light, this good book, this good word, and then they could be possibly moving towards that. But when you go home, the parents pulling out the cigarette, somebody pulling out the blunt, somebody pulling out the beer. So for them seeing that, they're going to lose hope and faith in what was introduced to them.
That's true.
But they're going to feel like, well, you must don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the blind can't really, you know, lead the blind. And again, that's a message to the parents to just be mindful of even what you're doing in front of them. I remember that was a time, you know, we were growing up, we couldn't be in the same place with the adults.
That's real.
When they're talking. So you look at it now, parents doing everything in front of them. So it's like, why are we not continuing the betterment of their future versus telling them whatever we doing, and we know we wrong at some point, right? When we get of age, we know, but if they seeing us doing it, because children gonna mimic what they see. They not gonna basically do what you tell them to do. If you're physically showing them that I'm cool with this, they gonna do this versus that. You understand what I'm saying?
That's real.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man, and just like, you know, you got to really let these kids, like, the information that they'll hold to today, like with the internet and stuff, we didn't have that. So kids are more privy to learn things quicker than what we did. So you got to really communicate with them. Like, you got to let these kids know that they love them. Like me, for instance, I was getting it wrong, man. I stopped telling my 17-year-old son that I love him because I'm like, man, he coming into a man, he don't want to hear that. So I seen the change in his behavior. But the day I told him that I love him, because I got convicted, man, I knew it with the Holy Spirit. Go tell him that you love him. I seen the change in him, man. So it's important to still let your kids know that you love them, man. Even if it's your nephews or nieces, any kids that you in their life, let them know that you love them, bro. They need to hear it, especially in this hour, bro. Because if not, we gonna lose. If you can't communicate with them and be real with them, the streets gonna swallow them up, man.
Exactly, man. And I tell my kids all the time, and whoever I'm online with, but you know, as men, society dealt us this bad hand. Well, we don't supposed to tell our brothers we love them or our sons, you know. So in return, we raising youth to be aggravated because when we don't tell them, and you know, they can be little babies today, and before you know it, they like this, and then you realize you never told them you love them, but they hear it, they see the visuals on TVs in the movie, but the experience they don't get, but they feel it because love is an action thing. It's a, you know, show me, and you're not telling them, and then that's when they start venturing out and start searching for it, you know. And this is just not females searching for love in all the wrong places. Men, little boys do it too.
Yep.
You know, there's a lack of. So a lot of times we're out here because the lack of. So it don't even matter, you know, who it is. It's the fact that they know they missing something. They want that attention. So we all go out there searching for this attention because we're at some point we feel like we're not getting it from those that we see or we're around the most, or who we think we should be getting it from, right?
That's real. And sometimes us as parents, man, with working and doing other things, sometimes we don't give our kids the best version of us. We come home and be so beat, but we got to remember we got to get them 100% too, man. They need to see that same attention, bro, no matter how old they are. If not, somebody else gonna give it to them, bro.
Right. And I was gonna finish that paragraph with that as well, man. And now that we know we have all types of weirdos out here, and for the little boys and the little girls, like our kids are not safe out here. You know what I mean? A lot of things been uncovered. You know what I mean? From either those you trust or family members. And when we're not attentive to our kids, our children, you know, they go through a lot of stuff. And then, like you said, and I don't want to bash any parent. I just feel like you don't know what you don't know, right? Because I'm always trying to uplift the parents and, like, you know, no matter what you didn't do, it's the fact that when you get a hold to the information, are you going to make the necessary changes at that point? You understand what I'm saying? Like, we know a lot of times, you know, as parents, we know we look back and like, man, I didn't do this and I do that. And it don't matter. It's about showing up at the time in the point of time that they need you. You know what I mean? And with the youth, I've talked to a lot of them, like, and sometimes our parents don't know. We don't care what had happened. If they still alive and we still here, all we want to do is get it right.
That's real.
So for any parent that's out there that feel like they were a failure, they wasn't there, they didn't do all they could have done, can you do it now? Things are not like it used to be when we call the good old days. You know what I mean? When there was a community, there was, you know, the neighbors would tell your parent on you if they saw you, the village, right? You know, we don't have the village anymore. We keep talking about it, but we're talking about it after something happens. You know what I mean? Instead of having these dialogues on the regular, so we all can, because to me, and shouts out to all the mentors, man, all the pastors that's doing their thing, man, all the team talks, all the organization that understand what it takes. And if you're listening, we have to connect. The community see where we're disconnected.
Yep.
So we keep going out there one by one trying to, that ain't gonna get it, man. That's not gonna get it. People gonna flock to what they see unified. You know what I mean? We ain't talking about no clique or this organization. We talking about a whole community front of organizations, individuals standing for their cause. That's what's gonna flip this thing around, man. I mean, that's just gonna have to be what it be, because there are so many organizations that has come and gone. But think about the people that they promised to help, but they didn't stand. So here's another organization, here's another person want to work with the youth, the elders, the community, but can they stand? Because no one man is an island. And I'm always saying, no one man has all the answers. No organization has all the answers. But together, Google can't beat us. You know what I'm saying? Speak on it.
Yeah, man, it do take unity, man. And you may have resources I don't. You know, the next person may be skilled here or there. We come together. That's why even the word tell us many members, one body. The word gave us the blueprint, but seems like we don't follow it. You know what I mean? It's power in unity, man. There's love in unity. And we can move mountains if we come together on one accord.
Right. Speak to the parents, man. Speak to the parents.
Yeah, man. I mean, just as a parent myself, man, there's trial and error. There's no handbook on how to be the perfect parent, man. But you can't use what your parents used back in the day to really get through to the kids, man. Like I say, with the information they have, you got to really get on their level, man. Speak their language. Be open with them. Let them know your flaws. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just hitting them across the head all the time. Let them know things that you struggle with. You know what I mean? That way they'll open up to you. If you open up to these kids, man, 9 times out of 10, that wall will chisel down. But you got to be with them, though. You can't be up here fake. You know?
Lady said, amen. Bless you, Rick Smith, man. You already got some blessings from the chat, my brother.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So we just I like that, man, for the parents, man. And I wanna add to that. Parents. It's okay, man. I'm man, our phone line rings so much. Now we're a youth-focused organization, but most time the parents call, so we feel like we mentor more adults than the youth, because the parents are the one trying to find the answer. And I want to tell the adults on the line, the youth ain't too much calling and asking for the help. They don't know they need the help. You understand what I'm saying? Until something is really, really bad. But we try to be a preventative outlet for them. Because if you think about it, the investment for prevention will do you way more better than intervention. Everybody don't make it back, man. That walk from the store or to the store for these youth is real long now, man. Some of them not even making it back. They're not making it back from the outings to the movies, to the arcade. They're not making it back, man. You understand what I'm saying? So we gotta stop acting like things is not happening or it can't happen, because a lot of those people that just went to work, stopped by the convenience store, got robbed, got shot, they didn't think it was their day. That's how serious it is. You know what I'm saying? So even before you send the kids out, give them the blueprint. You know, like you say, I know life happens, but if you never make time, you'll never have time.
That's real.
You got to take that time out your day, man, to sit down with your kids, your children or the youth, man, and just mentorship is going to solve over half of all these problems, man, because it's what come with it's what come with it. You know what I mean? The listening, the teen talks, hearing what they got to say, because a lot of time, think about all the murders, and if you're watching the news, then that means your children watching the news. As adults, we get on the phone. Did you just see what happened? Oh, you know, such and such got killed last night. And we ever stopped to realize that they sitting there watching that too? And we never one time asked them how they doing, how they feel. They just saw that tragedy too.
Yep.
We never asked them how they are doing because they children. Not understanding that they hearing and seeing everything, they understand way more than we think they do. We just haven't given them the platform to speak on it. That's why, like you were saying, the conversation is very necessary.
Yep.
With our kids. We get on the phone and talk to homeboys, homegirls, and whoever else, and our children right there in the house, and we're not even having that conversation to tell them what to look out for when they go out, when they step off the porch. We ain't telling them to look both ways. We're not giving them character building information so that when they think they have a friend, they don't even know what to look for. They looking for the good time, they looking for the laugh. And the whole time, they hanging with a cutthroat.
Yeah, man. And even when them kids, it looked like they ain't paying you no attention. They actually are, man. Like, even one of my youth from the detention center, I used to try to talk to him. He had murder on his mind when he got out, and I just felt like he wasn't listening, but I just kept talking to him. Gave him a number. He hit me up when he got out. He was like, he said, if I need you, hit you up. He was like, I was listening. And he was the last one I thought would call me. When I tell you that boy made the 360, man, now to get out, get him a job. He got out and enrolled in college. He moved to his grandma's house, got out of the old neighborhood, and he hit me up one Sunday. He had just got off of work. He was working at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Said, I'm gonna go to church with you. He pulled up shorts, flip-flops. I told him to come on. You know what I mean? So just because it seemed like they not listening, still pouring to them kids, man. Because the ones that listening, you could save a life, man. Imagine if I wouldn't have kept pouring into him and he would have got out here and wet something. You know what I'm saying?
My brother, man, if you only knew, and for the people that's on here, once again, shout out to everybody on Zoom and Facebook Live, man. We do appreciate you joining us, man, taking the time out your day to see what we got going on, and understand this is you are a part of this conversation. You can put your comment questions in the chat comment section on Facebook, or you can just join the Zoom and just come on in if you have anything to input as well. This is the community. We trying to just have everybody involved, and so don't be shy, don't be standoffish. But man, my heart goes out to the youth, man. You know, because a lot of them been left to fend for themselves. You know, life itself has started to be a struggle for a lot of people that has never struggled before, right? And I'm just like, it's all about the information, you know, that these youth really need, man. They need to have a mentor. And let's be clear, when we say mentor, we're not talking about somebody that went to college and need a degree. We saying just taking some of your time for that neighbor's child, for one of your nieces or nephews, for a cousin, you know, especially if you see that. I mean, back in the days, man, people saw you doing the right thing, or you had your light on, man, they would put you under their wings.
That's real.
They'll start hey, come around here 6 o'clock. Got something for you. Nobody's really doing that no more, man. You know what I'm saying? But we know who's recruiting at an all-time high, right? You know, the criminal organizations and things of that nature, like they have some for them to do. So as community and as parents, when you're not giving them that motivation every day, those mantras, those prayers, those pep talks, somebody got something for them. You're not teaching them who they are. You're not teaching them what they should not answer to, because that's what it is. When they don't know who they are, somebody else gonna tell them. They're gonna go down the wrong path. And like I said, sometimes it's not a revolving door. Either and like now we see the criminal justice system, you can get a life sentence off your first mistake, right? Yep. So we don't have time to be playing. We don't have time to be trying to put your house up, you know what I'm saying, for them making a decision, and then you ask them why they done it, they say, I don't know. I don't know why I done it. I know some of y'all online right now can attest to that they'll tell you they don't even know why they done it. But if you ask yourself what was missing, what you didn't give them, yeah, we're gonna always say they knew better. But I tell the parents at the same time, when you were their age, you knew better too.
Right.
How many things that you done that you knew better about? That alone should teach us to have patience with the youth. You know what I mean? Because why they done something, if you don't know, then you should be listening to the youth. They're gonna give you the answer of how to fix them just by listening to them. Yeah. Parents got to stop shooting them down. You know, I know a lot of kids want to be rappers and stuff like that, but I always say systematically, when you see the vision of successful people, what image are we being shown? Who has the money? The rappers.
Rappers, athletes, stuff like that.
You understand what I'm saying? And we know everybody can't rap, and we know everyone is not going to be an athlete.
Yep.
So what are we pointing to them when they see these visions, and we know that it's mainstream to for us to feel like I want to be that, and they don't understand the contract that's involved. They want to be a rapper, not understanding that it's the guy holding the camera making more money than the rapper.
Yep.
So they forfeiting all the other things that are skill based, right? Some of them want to rap, they hadn't been through nothing. What you talking about? Your big brother story? You know what I'm saying? Is it really your story? So I mean, I give it all to them to say, hey, even with the profanity, it's like, you know, how far you want to go with this? Or why are you talking about that? What's the other side of that? Because if everybody's saying the same thing, then they're not even giving themselves a solution or a way out.
That's real.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man, even with the music, like, it's no substance really anymore. I mean, back in the day, we had songs like Self-Destruction, where you had all the rappers unified and they told you was headed for self-destruction. We talk about the guns, the drugs and stuff. But like I say, every song is pretty much negativity right now. And that's what they pushing, man, with that agenda, man. So it's really imperative to really show these kids something different, man. Now we gonna at a rapid rate, bro.
Right. I also want to say this to the community and the parents as well. Some of us know, this is man, we know whole bars, man. We ain't holding no punches tonight. Some of us see our kids coming in with the drugs, with the guns, color coded, wearing a certain color. I mean, when are we gonna hold ourselves accountable for those things?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We can't. There are parents blaming their children for their lack of getting them out on bond, getting them a lawyer, and the whole time you saw what they were doing. You understand what I'm saying? And if the individuals that you are allowing your children to see, what I'm saying is, it's so easy for you, for a parent, to stop that. Even if the parent is involved with whatever they're involved in, you don't have to let your child fall in those same holes that you're trying to get yourself out of. If you're doing this over here smoking weed, you're a part of some kind of criminal, organization, whatever, and you know in your mind, like, man, I don't want my children to grow up. Because we know you tell our kids, man, I want you to grow up and be better than me. What happened to those conversations? You can be doing you, keeping your children out of your business and put them over there until you get the help you need. You understand what I'm saying? I'm telling parents to continue to serve. When parents call us, man, I'm always commending them for not stopping. My mother never stopped. I ventured out there, man, for a long time myself, but my mom, man, they was always like, hey, go get your hair cut. Here goes some food. Like, it was the never giving up. And it's very touching as a man, because I had parents call me like, man, I'm so tired of them. I'm finna send them to military school. I'm like, whoa. Like, did you sit down and talk to him first? And I talked to him so many times, he ain't listening, woo. And I'm like, what about your delivery? I know you as a parent, we want to talk and we want to be the judge and all law, but we're not listening to them. You know how many kids I went to that have taken guns to school, and when they talk to me, they're like, I'm always saying, like, did you tell your parents? And they like, yeah. And I'm saying that for a reason, because a couple of kids took a gun to school because they was getting bullied. But the whole time they was going home telling the parent, like, hey, it's a boy, it's whatever at school. And it's like, we're going to just say, hey, somebody put their hand on you, hit them back. But we're still creating a hostile environment, even at school. So when our children come home from school and we're not asking them how their day is, they are almost scared to tell us what's really going on. I can't blame the school, because if the kids are leaving school and coming home, it should be somebody at home to intercept something. You know what I mean? Like, we got to ask them every day. And children trust their peers. And now parents don't even know who their children are hanging with.
Because of the lack of communication.
Lack of communication. Go ahead.
Yeah, you gotta have that conversation and see what's going on in their life, how they day going, who they are hanging around. You know what I mean?
That's a major key. That's a major key, man, because when you're seeing the kids create causing havoc in what they're doing, they very seldom gonna be by themselves. And as growing up, we all hung around people where somebody always had that upper hand that we would do with whatever they do. You understand what I'm saying? So that goes back to that character building situation, man, and letting your child know how valuable their life is. I don't want my child leaving out of here feeling like they're nothing and not understanding I love them, and they go out with a peer and do whatever the peer do, and then they not here no more. Only because they didn't have the proper, information on judging what they shouldn't be doing. We're gonna make mistakes, but like I said, if as parents, if we understand they're not making it back, I think we need to step it up a notch. You know what I'm saying? Asking who they hang with, what new friend they met today, what's their name? And if they want to hang with them, then I feel like we need to go back to even meeting the parents of the peers.
Yep.
Let's see if they even a match.
I know another thing is a lot of teenagers like to stay stuck in their room. You got to start having that family time, man, getting back to the basics, because if not, idle man is the devil's playground. They just in that room. They on the phone or they playing video games. Back in the day, we would go to each other's house and play the video games. We're talking, be in different countries playing with each other now, on the game. So it's a different world, man. That's why I say, like, you got to try a different approach, man. I made sure that we do, like, little family stuff here at the crib, man, and get out and rap with one another,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to get them off the phone sometime, too. I'm not even saying take the phone. I'm saying be aware of what they are listening to, who they are watching. It's just like I would thought maybe a lot of people would be on this, but I guarantee if you go to social media and go to any celebrity's page, they can be sitting on there digging in their nose and they'll have 1 million views on their live doing nothing.
But you know what, man? As long as we get through the one person that's on here, man, we done did our job, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it could be a number of people, but if ain't nobody getting it, you can have 1,000 people. But if only one person getting it, you done did your job. You know what I'm saying? So I know somebody gonna get the information that we putting on here, man, and we gonna keep pushing this thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Here's a comment in the chat. Earn their trust. They don't feel as if they can talk without being yelled at or disciplined. Man, that's a huge thing right there, man. That's another one to grow on. Parents, we got to learn how to what word I want to use. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. Hurt people. And as some parents, it don't matter your age or how grown you think you are, you could not have people skill, talking skills. And a lot of time we take that hurt out on our children, man. We come home so frustrated from relationships or jobs or, bills and just life. And we'll be so snapping at our children. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have the proper skills. We don't have the proper education in conflict resolution. Because that's what it boils down to. How do we resolve our differences through conflict and resolution? And some of those things teaches us because we can learn something from it, even though it could be a negative at some point, right? And when we yell at the children, man, we giving them, we beating them down verbally. So when we send them out to school, what you just sent out the door is a weak individual.
Yep.
Two things can happen. They cannot like you as a parent, which is going to make them run out there further to look for something that somebody could just be wooing them, a kidnapper, a rapist, right? See, we are allowing them to go out there on a falsification because we're we're doing the harm at home.
That's
And
real.
what they're doing, they're running out, they're trying to find a safe haven, but they're running right into Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? Follow up with me.
Yeah, man, that goes back to what I was touching on earlier, man. We have to get out of the old way of doing things like how we was raised. I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. You know how the saying goes, I'm grown, you need to listen to me. Nah, they got way more information than what we had. So you gotta have like grown people conversations with these kids, man. You gotta be open, you got to hear their heart.
Right.
And some of these kids may get to a point where they burst and might curse you out. You know what I mean? Because of what they dealing with. It's a different world, man.
But a lot of time it's not even what they're dealing with, man. It's just the fact that someone showed them how to respond in that nature.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not, I'm going through something I'm supposed to cuss you out. No, somebody have been cussing me out, and I feel like that's a way to communicate.
That's real.
And it's really not, you know. I just saw two things. Yolanda, she said, youngsters consider it infringement to be asked a question. What is the divide for determining how far to push? I mean, where do we demand a response versus allow liberty? You want to speak on it first, or?
I wouldn't really say demand, because if you try to demand something out of these kids, that's just gonna push them further away.
No go.
You just gotta show them love, man, and be patient with them. You know what I mean? And like I say, be transparent, let them know your flaws. First of all, once they know your flaws, you know what I'm saying, they'll start opening up that wall and start coming down. But if we just try to parent from the aggressive side, you never gonna reach. With love and kindness is how you drawing, like the words say, man. And we gotta think about how our Father do us, man. We got new grace and mercy every day is what my word tells us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to give these kids grace and mercy. You know what I mean? We got to be long suffering with them like God is with us. We mess up time and time again, but his love don't change for us. He patient, he kind, he gentle. You know what I'm saying? We got to be the same way. Tough love come into play sometime too. The God, you know what I'm saying, to get you right in that aspect too.
Right.
But it's a place for tough love. In 2023, you got to pull them in with the love and the kindness, man.
Mm-hmm. And we have to start closing that gap, because that's a good question too, Yolanda. I think also that divide, and a lot of time when that communication has not happened, it creates that distance, right?
Yep.
People trust who they talk to all the time.
That's
why the youth go with their peers. They
Yep.
want to be with their peers, because who's listening? Who's listening to them? No matter if they know what they're talking about or not, but because sometimes it's somebody agreeing with them, or sometimes, you know, they're telling them, you know, that's not right. And pushing the line to, like, you know, demand a response, like the earlier comment said, it's about earning the trust. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they feel like if they tell you the truth, so before you even approach your child, tell yourself, like, third person, if they tell me something I don't want to hear, how are you going to react to it? You know what I mean? You got to already set the stage, because if you knowing something's going on and they're not giving you all the details, you have to know, like, okay, you know, first of all, it could be a respect thing too. I don't want to tell my mom, and that's why it's so imperative that parents create that bond. That's why I started off saying, it don't matter how it once was. Get in position. Get in position now. You know what I mean? With the world being so different, there's no time like right now. I don't care if you a crackhead. If you're going to be in their life, just keep the crack to yourself.
Yep.
But be present. Just Christmas, we did Toys for Tots like we do every year. And since everybody was like, you know, the fathers are not at home, so I was like, well, let's do a give the bag to dad. So you know, we had all these bags gifted up, and I was like, and all I did, I wanted to change the narrative and give the guys something to do outside the norm. So I was like, why don't you guys register and send us a paragraph of why your presence is more valuable than your present.
Mm.
Give the bag to dad. So I felt like all the dad that probably had not been in their children's life for whatever reason, it ain't even our business. Here, take this. Go see your offspring. Go take this. This free. You had to purchase anything. Take this and go mend or make it right. Zero response.
Wow.
I'm like, from mothers that had sons that got kids, school-aged men having offsprings, don't know what to do. I see a lot of time young men in certain areas, man, and they leaving at the hotel. And I'm just like, man, I wish I would have knew. You know what I'm saying? But it was like zero response. So I was asking around, like, why do you think it didn't work? And they were like, man, you know, you told them to write that paragraph. You know what I'm saying? But I was only trying to give them something different to come out of those shells. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could have been 2 lines, you know, but I'm saying your presence, like go see your child, no matter, you know, I know you know, a lot of times the relationship and the mother and the father don't get along, and sometimes they leave and leave the child in those conditions. And I just feel like, and I tell the brother, and I'm gonna tell the ladies too, you're not alone. It's some help out here. It's a lot of people that want to naturally help. I know people that don't even have organization. They trying to give stuff out of their pocket. They buying, and you can come live here. So what I'm saying is, grown people, never stop pursuing assistance or help for yourself, family, or your children.
That's real.
My brother, talk to the young ladies, man. Tell the young ladies something. Say, what, you know how we were.
Yeah.
Tell our little sister something, man.
What I would say to them is pretty much like, don't let the IG models and these female rappers paint the picture that being, excuse my French, but a thought of using your body to get $40 or however they do it these days is the route to go, man. You better than that. You know what I'm saying? Say that thing for marriage, man. You ain't got to be out here acting like what they call them, the city girls. You ain't got to be doing all that, though, man. Be a lawyer. You could be a doctor. You could be anything that you put your mind to. You got to realize how beautiful you are inside and not. You know, not to be putting yourself out there like that. And if a man really respect you, he ain't gonna let you carry yourself that way anyway. So don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe with the way some of these dudes be handling you. You know, you got to realize who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now watch where I'm going with this. That was a message to our little sisters. You have a lot of time to because a lot of these young ladies, man, they are all talking about relationship and what boy they like. And then I have children, so I'm going up to the school, and I remember how it was, man. You're chasing them, you're patting them on the behind and things of that nature. And I had to tell the young men, like, y'all don't even know, man, that's sexual harassment. You know what I mean? C school has zero policy with touching and all that good stuff. So I'm trying to give them the legality at an early age as well, because a lot of times we letting our young men grow up and they chasing and touching and choking. They think it's barbaric, like they need to, you know what I mean? They need to do that. And I'm like, you know, where did they see that at? Where did they see the caveman mentality where they need to drag the girl by their hair, and then the girl just running, they just running. And it's like, we need to make sure our young sisters understand, like, he shouldn't have to hit you. See, there's no love licks.
No.
You know what I'm saying? There's no young man should be hitting you for them to show you he like you. And young brothers, you don't have to hit her to let her know you like her.
That's real.
Use your very essence. Use the words. You know what I mean? If it's that serious. You know what I'm saying? We went to the young sisters. Give the mothers something that have daughters.
I would say for all the mothers out there, again, live it in front of them, you know, instill the values in them of what a woman is supposed to be. Show them how to cook, show them how to clean, show them how to dress, how to carry themselves. teach them about their hygiene, teach them that a man ought to respect them. You know what I mean? You got to show them how to be a woman. You know, like bro was saying earlier, these kids are sponge, man. Especially young ladies, they vulnerable. You know, and they ain't got their father in their lives in certain situations. They gonna lean towards the first thing that feel like love. And that could be one of these knuckleheads out here telling them some foolishness. And for the young man out here, man, I would say pretty much think about your sister, your mama, your female cousin, how you would treat them. You know what I mean? Before you go treat a young woman a certain type of way. Treat them like you would treat your mother or your sister. Be the protector, be the nurturer for them. You know what I mean? We got to get all the songs telling the dudes to call them a bee, tricking off for the 40, all that foolishness. You know, that's what they being fed. So that's what they reacting to, the music, man.
Right, man. I want to format what I'm finna say, just in case some underage people on here, but for the young brothers, there's a situation on the other side of your zipper, right? We can't be thinking with that. Because it takes a man to be a father. And I know a lot of these young guys, they think they got it going on, and they might do. I'm not the one to dispute that. But what I'm saying is being a father versus a sperm donor or just somebody's baby daddy. Yep. I don't even know who made that cool for the young men to just want to be somebody's baby dad or to have, my mom used to tell me, man, you don't want your kids spread all over, you know what I'm saying? Because we have gotten away from like being with the children, being with the mother of our kids. I know things happen, but I'm just saying the foundation of what we used to or what we should be doing in that case. We make mistakes, we gonna, whatever. You know what I mean? But I'm saying that we trying to talk to the youth. Yeah. Because because we think it's just a young lady with the hormone, but we're the same.
That's real.
When it get hot, things get heated, and then the brain starts thinking a different kind of way. So I don't even know if people are still doing like the sex ed and things of that nature, because that's what's missing too. Yep. You know what I'm saying? The school, I haven't heard of a sex education, and when we do, it's automatic to the health department. The health department got to come out with the brochures, and it's too late. Yep. Somebody got something. And then the kids they too scared to say they done snuck off and skip school and you see what I'm saying? Now one thing done turned into something else. Yep. Right? So it's almost like, and I'm not even trying to simulate an animal to a human, but I'm just saying, if you ever had a dog or something like that and you had a female and when she in heat, you got to put a chain on them. And I'm just saying that goes for male and females. The boys gonna start smelling themselves just as well as the girls. But we saying as adult parents, we know that we've been there, done that. That's all I'm saying. Don't be naive to that time in their life, which is so awesome and special. But if you leave them to themselves, it can be a disaster. That's all I'm saying.
That's real.
My brother, let's take it to the fathers, man. Man, I pray for our brothers all the time, man. It's like when you a man and a melanated black man or whatever, a melanated brother, man, it's like we have to make money. We got to be doing this, that, and it's like it's so much pressure, and it's almost like not even just the youth as fathers. We want to talk to the fathers right now. It's so much weight on the shoulder. You know what I mean?
Right.
Trying to stay positive, stay motivated, stay home. I mean, it's so many levels that I don't even know if the community understand. Like, grown men don't have anywhere to go in an outlet. And you'll see a lot of men on the corner looking at their son doing the same thing that they're doing, and they don't even know what to tell them. You want to expound on it right quick?
Yeah, man. kind of dealing with something similar with my daughter in college right now. It just seemed like it's a wedge being drawn in between us, and I'm trying my best to be patient and pray for her. You know what I mean? Because it went from us having a relationship to I'm feeling like I'm just an ATM machine, and it shouldn't be like that. It's like I'm getting through to my 3-year-old here, my 17-year-old kids all across the state. But it's kind of hard with my 18-year-old, and I know I can't give up on her. I got to be there for her. But I have to let her understand that it's just not hey, daddy, I need this, I need that, and that's the only way we communicate. So, I mean, as a father, sometimes we feel unappreciated. Sometimes, like you say, we don't have no outlet to go to, but we got to do our best to keep pressing on, man, and make sure that we still there, because eventually our kids will come around. You know what I mean? Just make sure you there and make sure you and doing the best that you can do as a father. You know,
right. Making ourselves available, man. We often get calls going back to the gap between the youth and the elders, man. I mean, we get calls and I'm saying elders. I'm not even saying old people. I'm just saying adults. You know, it's like they not listening. And then when we talk to the youth are saying they not listening. You know what I mean? It's like being caught in a crossfire. And I'm like, well, who's not listening, right? I don't really want to point the finger because, like the post said, you know, we can't talk at them. You know what I mean?
That's real.
A lot of these homes are not right. The family structure is like broken down. A lot of parents like, I did this, I did that, I did this, I took them here, I took them there. And I'm just the first one to say that doesn't fix a problem though. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we are rewarding the wrongdoing. If you take a straight A student, we know they always get the praise. And then you take the worst of the worst, and because we're always trying to buy them things and take them somewhere to act right, sometimes that's rewarding what they're doing and where they are. You understand what I'm saying? So as myself and Project Keep Them Off the Street, we try to stay in the middle. So we like to, of course, you know, giving honor where honor's due when it's, you know, praise them for doing the right thing. But then there's that line, and I'm always asking people, what about the most improved? It's like we don't even talk about the people anymore that was once doing bad and now they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I just want to bring that back to, you know, to the forefront if we're really paying attention, because if we're teaching like we're supposed to and being patient, there's a lot of changes that are happening, but we're not speaking on it, or we're not praising them for those subtle changes.
Yeah.
But the youth know that. They know what they've stopped doing, or now they have come into an understanding of what they were doing wrong. We got to start acknowledging that, man.
Because if not, it'll deter them. They thinking, hey, I done made a little change, and they still acting crazy with me. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you hear you saying, you hear you saying, man, it don't matter, it don't matter, it don't matter. And I'm always finding myself saying, no, it do matter. You matter. So I'm always saying, who told you it didn't matter? You know what I'm saying? I know it might not have been verbally, but it has been a physical thing where somebody just not even acknowledging that you are on the right path. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's talk about some solutions. Let's talk about some solutions, man. Like where do you start with the community or parent or one individual? We know it's a whole slew of things of why the youth are doing what they're doing, but what can we do together as a unit? Everybody on the line, the chat, Facebook. What do you see we doing? Or what you know, your method of what could work?
What worked best with me, man, with dealing with these kids at the juvenile facilities has been one-on-one communication with them, man, and just meeting them where they at, man, and giving them let them know that you're there for them, man, and being consistent. Don't promise them something that you can't do. You know what I mean? If you tell them you're gonna do something, show up. You know?
You got to show up. We We have to be women. I said women. We have to be women and men of our word. When these youth are growing up and everybody want to use the word real, and a lot of time I look at the youth as being innocent, right? Like, I know they only mimicking what they've saw, what they've been introduced to, right? And sometimes they'll try things to see what they can get away with. But the most part, man, they pretty much innocent. Like, they don't even, sometimes they have to learn from, getting that hand pop, or they got to go to prison or something like that. Sometimes that's when they get it. You know what I mean? But they don't understand, like, it's, like I said earlier, it's not a revolving door. Like, for Project Keep Them Off the Streets, our nonprofit. Here's my solution base. I'm big on entrepreneurship, right? And I feel like talking is very important. Don't get me wrong. I don't want anybody on here to get me wrong. Talking is very important. But understand what we're up against. And I'm not talking about, I'm talking about us as a whole. I don't care what household you're in, how many kids you have, you are up against a system.
That's real.
You understand me? You're not up against me. You're not up against Rick. You're not up against, it's like there's a system in place that has something for them to do and will punish them when they do it. People talk about the school to prison pipeline. This stuff is serious.
Yeah.
The prison industry, the complex, these are privatized on things. Like, the government, most of them not even government run anymore. They're privately owned. People are investing in prison. How do they get money? They need your sons and daughter in there. That's how they're gonna get paid.
Yeah.
It's not like it used to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they already making a bed for them by the time they're in elementary school. They keeping track from the time of seeing how many times they go to the office, get in trouble, they get expelled, and they look at, the bloodline, like the family history, to see if they done had people in the family that done been to prison, or, it's just crazy. And then pretty much the private prisons making money off the prisoners. It's $1 billion industry, like what is the show called? Orange is the New Black?
Yeah.
That's real. How you think the Victoria's Secret pen is being made? Private prisons. Different things that we think are handled like just outside of things of private prison handled. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just like, we got to really wake up, because, like you said, if not, they got a bed for them, man. It's already set up again.
Man, they most definitely have a bed for them. And I'm seeing more young ladies, man. I'm seeing more young ladies being influenced by the young men, man. I mean, my family, we were out the other night, and we were both driving our separate vehicles, and we pulled up to the gas station. I'm always telling her, I'm like, listen, man, these gas stations is like, you cannot be playing at the gas stations. You know what I mean? And I'm like, hey, we got to do this first, and whatever. But we gotta do it, how we do it. And we pulled up, and we literally seen 5 young men, like, you know what it looked like. They were trying to go. They got the truck at the pump, all the doors open, 2 lookouts. They in the store, they stealing their butt off. And I'm on the phone with my wife at the same time. We pulling up, and I'm like, bag out, bag. I'm like, bag out. And I wanted to just, but when I wanted to say something to them, just to say, hey, man, even though you're in there stealing that honey bun, but if you get caught, will that honey bun be worth it? Is that honey bun worth it? But while they around here trying to wear the newest fashion, you couldn't go in there and pay for a 98-cent honey bun? You willing to risk your freedom to go in the store and steal as if it was playtime? But here's the flip part. There was a young lady, we're actually parked in front of the window and looking at the cashier. Guess what she was doing?
What's that?
She was looking directly at them steal. I told my wife, I said, listen, she in on it. Let's go. So they came out and went to the truck. I guess they put up what they stolen, And they went back before we even pulled out. They went back, and the young lady that we saw watching them, she came outside and started like acting like she was sweeping up. What I'm saying is, get your children, get your young ladies, because they're being influenced by, like you called them earlier, some knuckleheads. It's not all of them, but especially when they're doing things of that nature, then they get caught up in something, and they it's going, well, I didn't do it. I had nothing to do with it, but you did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You played a role in that. And we believe, like, one of the key components that we believe for the community and the youth going to be the comprehensive approach. The wraparound services, man, because as I'm looking at it, man, a family structure broken down. A lot of these people don't have food. I talked to some of the schools, man, and they understand how many people they feed. And a lot of these kids don't have food. And sometimes being a product of nature and your environment, sometimes we don't understand the criminal activity. But I tell you, it's some people out there, man, that are so young, they can't work. There's no food at home. Dad ain't at home. Mom is hardly there. A lot of times, that's what we're seeing, big bro. We're seeing the actions of a family structure being broken down right before our eyes. You understand what I'm saying? So, if you don't know what a wraparound service is, that's like an organization or whatever, company or whatever that kind of handles from the home, individual, food, employment, to try to figure out what's wrong. And that's what I do sometimes when I see the problem. Like, let's go all the way back to that. Let's find out what's going on at home. I would do certain things out of the recreation center when we doing different events. And a lot of times I used to be like, Mr. Q, can we go with you? Or they want to stay in the gym all day long. I used to always say, why these kids don't want to go home? Why y'all, you know what I'm saying? They would rather ride with somebody else. And I'm just saying, whatever we're giving some of these youth, sometimes we got to make that time for them. Because sometimes that next decision, we can come home today after you didn't stop for this youth or gave them the time of day and go home and then realize you just saw them on the 5 o'clock news. But the wraparound service for youth, mainly youth that are having difficulties, right? And need support in various aspects, right? Because you have the individual level, mentoring is an effective strategy, but not just for children that are having the difficulties, but also, parent, the community. We got to start promoting like the healthy behaviors. You know what I mean? Because one thing leads to the next. Like I tell the youth now, they think they start off drinking and they start smoking weed, and all of those things are just gateway drugs all the way over to the end of the rainbow. You know what I mean? It never fails. Oh, it's just weed. It's just, and that's a whole nother topic about what they really smoking. You know what I mean? What's really in this stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Anybody have any questions? I want to go to the chat, man. I appreciate you guys for staying on with us. This is just family, man. This is just the community. You are a part of it. You want to come on and have your input, suggestions. Hey, we are here to listen, take notes. If you would like, I want to give somebody a second if they want to chime in and just come on and speak their piece or have a word for the youth or the parents. We trying to get it right. We did this to just get it right and see what the parents, the community, the brothers, the sisters had to say, and how can we join forces and do it. We're in a position to make a few things happen, and we just have to be very poised about what we do. And we don't have a lot of time to just be sitting around waiting for the next big bang to happen. Anybody want to come on and give the other parents or other youth on here something to take away, something positive? Because I want to start talking about the school system as well. Nobody has chimed on. What do you think about the school system, Mr. Smith, and
I'm,
how they're handling this youth violence, man? Like, talk to us.
I know here in Florida, a lot of stuff that I'm saying I don't really agree with. I mean, I think it could be handled differently. Like it seems like some of the schools here don't care. To be real with you, seems like some of it just paychecks, and then some of the teachers are fearful of some of the kids as well too, and they're not getting paid enough. So I got a bunch of different opinions about the school system, man. To be real with you, I just
Right,
think
right,
it could be ran better. They need to
right,
implement
right,
better programs and stuff to really keep these kids in tune, man.
right, right, right. I think like for my household, man, we're always involved with the kids in school, and we try to get their input. So we want to know how can we align ourselves also with the school.
Yeah,
So what they're doing in school, then we want to kind of aid that at home as well. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like not just not be involved. And I want to encourage parents to like be involved in every aspect of your children's life. Get them in some after school program because, like you said earlier, that idle mind. Like they come home, they just jump on the phone. Why not put them in an after school program?
yeah,
Find something for them to do. Put them in the sports. You know what I mean? Like it's the book says, the good book says, train a child up in the way that they should go. And a lot of time we've stopped doing that. You know what I mean? We have stopped molding them until they're a certain age, and then they get to choose.
yeah.
By the
And
time we dropping the ball and just letting them from, since they talking back, hey, she don't want to do that. He don't want to do that. No, we supposed to be laying down the foundation. We supposed to be setting them up to win.
yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? I talk about credit and backgrounds in my home. Letting the children swipe the card at the store. You know what I mean? Letting them understand the change and showing them the money because they taking the schools are on tablets and virtual and stuff like that, and the handwriting is kind of like going to be obsolete before it's all over with.
yeah. They
You know what I
only
mean?
use
So
person for anything. And like I was saying, one of the things I didn't agree with, like my son told me he could be on his cell phone in class. Like that was a no back in the day. And then the grading scale is just poor now. It's like they really don't have to work. You know what I mean? And they got an A or a B. What was considered a C or a D is like a B now. So that's a lot of. If I had it my way, them cell phones wouldn't be in class. They can't learn them cell phones in their hand, man.
right. Yeah, the school level, man. I had those notes as well, man. The school levels and comprehensive approaches. That includes the curriculum, but also addresses issues around the school environment
Yeah,
that affects how children behave in school. Um, we had a couple of incidents with one of our children, and let's go to like middle school too. I'm trying to say I'm gonna format this. Your child can come home and have been bullied, have been assaulted, and a
mm-hmm.
lot of time the school be hesitant about letting you know what happened. There are parents going to school and asking the school, like, what happened to my child? Two things wrong there. Why wasn't there a communication line at home that your child, couldn't come home and tell you that they've been violated? So let's get that right. No matter what happened, no matter, like we just said, no matter what you've been doing today and back, as of right now going forward, let's think about the solution and how can we be a part of the change and the positivity.
But
Like you just said, the value system, the skill levels, the in turn, like the dealing with the conflict, dealing with their anger. A lot of kids at home acting out, and the parents just letting them do that. They're not understanding if they do it at home. My mama always told me that if they doing it at home, they're gonna do it out there.
yeah,
They're gonna be disrespectful to law enforcement or not listen. They're gonna be disrespectful to the teachers. Anything that is in position of power, You know what I mean? They're gonna exploit that.
Yeah.
Identifying places where negativity happens at. I don't care if it's your neighborhood store. Parents, if you know it goes down at the store, please don't send them. You understand what I'm saying? Certain times of day, please just don't do it. You don't know who might want to give them a package of drugs to sell. You don't know who telling them, hey man, I got this for you, man. And that be the day that they decide that whatever's going on at home, this decision I'm about to make right now might just be worth it. You understand? You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
We have to start identifying the places. Like some days, parent, you're gonna have to take out work and go up to that child's school and see what's going on, talk to the teacher, ask your child about the teacher. Because I mean, I've been seeing plenty of videos, man, these teachers yelling, calling them out their name, and you might not be doing that at home. So you want to know what's going on with their schooling at the same time. Let's talk about the community level. We're talking about what are the solutions. We've talked about the comprehensive approach, the school level, the curriculums, behavior in school. On a community level, we have different spectrums of strategies, right? So we have to focus on and the structure of the environment, the development of the green space, the engagement of youth in the community, participation. Like we got to start getting these kids to be involved. They need to be involved in something, right?
Yep.
You got to get them into some type of recreational positivity, some kind of program or organization. And if they do charge, then be the bigger person and go to the organization and see what can you work out. You know what I mean? Your child could be just on the verge where, I mean, you know, they can say, hey, we're going to waive that fee, you know, bring them on down. So don't stand off and say, I'm not going to pay. You know what I mean? Like Project Keep Them Off the Street, going back to the I kind of know what the youth want. They want money. They don't want to work for it. They feel entitled, but with Project Keep Them Off the Street, what I say is we have a lawn service. We have a photography service. You know, we're doing videography, photography, editing, graphic design, all these things. We got probably about 5 lawnmowers, but we got it for the program. You know, we want to teach them how to fish, and then that character building. Then you're talking about financial literacy. We're talking about time management. We're talking about individual self-care. You know, so all of these things come with that, but because we had a registration fee, you know, you go a lot of places, there's a registration fee, you know, whatever that is, $15, $25, it's like, hey, but you know, we really had some parents saying, I thought it was for the community and it's supposed to be free. And in my mind, I'm sitting here saying $25, $15 isn't enough for your child's investment for their future. And I want parents to hear this. Now, you want me to come in my personal vehicle that I have to keep maintenance on, right? The equipment, then feed them, which I'm going to do, you know, if they're with me, and then try to send them home with money so they can learn how to earn the understage pay, right? So they can have some money in their pocket. And you're telling me, forget all of that because it's not free? So those are some of the things I actually dealt with personally. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just hoping that parents understand that, like, there's help out here, but I'm only a positive reinforcement. I'm not the dad. I'm not the, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to collectively come up with solutions and implement them. Nothing works if we don't try it.
That's real.
Nothing works. And a little bit goes a long way, but nothing gets us nowhere. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, man. I mean, it does take finances and resources to make things happen, man. You know, and a lot of people look for the free all the time, you know, which ain't cool, you know.
Well, I'm saying it's okay if they can't afford it, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, parents, I want you ladies and gentlemen, just to open your mouth, go find help. if you see an individual, like if you see an individual doing something positive, instead of hating it, or you might not like the individual, tell me what's it worth to you for your offspring. You understand what I'm saying?
And what we used to do back in the day, I know we couldn't afford to go do stuff like, or say like a summer camp or something. They would have fundraisers where we can do car washes to stack the money, or somebody would sponsor, one of the kids or something like that there. So it's all kind of ways, to get around it. But sometimes we'll go spend $500 on gaming system for the kids, but can't spend the $25. $150 on some shoes, $200 on some shoes, but can't spend the $25 on the mentoring program.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. They wouldn't pay that. They wouldn't pay the registration fee, but they would go and put their child in basketball camp, paying $800 and $900. And there's nothing wrong with it. To each his own. But what I'm saying is, they're not saying that. Let's say they send them to basketball camp, but I'm looking at the parent like, are you paying this money for them to be babysitted, or are you going to get behind them and put them on a path that they can at least one day make the NBA? That's what I'm saying. You're going to spend all that money, not put them in a program that's going to give them the necessary tools that are better there tomorrow. That basketball camp, I mean, if they're going to be keeping the ball in their hand, all the guys that I know that are major components to the NBA and made it to another level, since they were young, they had a basketball in their hand. They practiced. They did what they had to do. They not just going to a summer camp every summer and then they don't pursue their dreams. School and neighborhood community, what can you do? I say as individuals, providing mentorship. Anybody can be a mentor. You don't have to have a degree, diploma. It's about life experiences and giving the youth something positive to glean off of. Youth that get mentored, but more on a consistent basis. Like if you're going to be a mentor, like don't just tell them something and then just feel like you talk to them and you just left them out there. Talk to them often. Because people that have mentors, they about 85% likely to change the course of their life just by being mentored. You understand? Parents, the same thing. Mentor your children. Have the healthy conversation. Let them know they can come talk to you about anything. But when they come and talk to you about anything, let's not be so dramatic. Let's not just beat them down and not want to hear it. Hear them out first, and if you don't know how to respond, let's not respond at all and think about how can we respond and come back to it. How about that? What that sound like, Rick?
It sound like a winner to me.
Right. Give the people something, man, before we get out of here, man. I know we don't hear them long, man. I was hoping that, they had some more questions. But it's all good, man. I'm quite sure that they heard something they can utilize. A lot of good questions, but we are talking about. We already know what's going on in the street. Me and Rick already know like the violence. We already see it on news. There's no reason for us to be on here talking about the violence. We don't want to be the bearer bringer bad news. We want to be solution based. That brother's doing what he's doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. That's on you as a community. Are you going to come out to some of the events? Are you going to be a part? Will you be on a board of a nonprofit? Will you do your part at home? Will you be a part of your community and do whatever you can do to those that you can reach? You don't have to go looking for it. I don't really go out there no more looking for it. We've been around long enough for people to know what we have to offer, right? Our organization is open. Our arms are open from parents, because we want to make sure the whole family structure is fixed. Because we know once we fix home, a lot of these kids won't even be out here, man. If home was straight, a lot of them wouldn't even be out here. And sometimes it's not about the parent doing the wrong thing. Sometimes kids are just being kids and they don't even understand. You know how many of us went out there and didn't even know what we had at home? Because, the streets try to take us away from who really love us and give us this false sense of everything. So we go out there and find out the grass ain't greener. We trying to run back home. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Uh,
want to be grown no more, mom. You know what I'm saying? You know, so yeah, man, it's been real. Give us something to take away, my brother.
Man, I would say just love on people in these days, man. And we can see, man, we really in these last days right now, man. Do the best you can do to spread love, man. Get closer to Christ, man. If you ain't talked to a family member in a while, man, reach out to them, man. Because I feel like on Judgment Day, we're not going to be judged about how people treated us, but how we responded to how they treated us. So just let somebody know that you love them right now, man. If we spread more love, all this gun violence and this negativity will start to cease, man, the more love we show. You know, say love covers a multitude of sins. All of us mess up. All of us got some sins. So let's spread love more than anything, man. That's really what I'm on.
Yeah, man, love is a solution, man. They say love is the universal language, my brother. And that's
Yes,
all
sir.
we got to do, man. Just show a little love, man. Show a little love. Hey, I want to say that Project Keep Them Off the Streets, we will be conducting our Teen Talk Roundtable February the 23rd, 560 Thorn Road, Suite 209. That's February the 23rd. You have to be pre-registered or you will not be able to gain entrance. You can register at www.pcots.org. PCOTS is the acronym for Project Keep Them Off the Streets. You can find us on Instagram at PCOTS_Inc. Also on Facebook, PCOTS in Court, and click on the link, register. We are saying ages 10 to 15, I believe, 10 to 18. We want to see what the youth have to say, man. And we're not just gathering the youth to just talk. We want to hear them out. We want to offer solution, and we want to offer assistance. We want to, we want to line them up to where their future's going. If they need food, we want to be a conduit, and lead them in the right path, man. If it's something going on at home, because I know, something we didn't say too, Rick, a lot of parents like, don't go out this house and tell what's going on in this house. But, to each his own. But I want to say this, though, to people that say that, and I understand. But we normally say, if it hurts, say ouch. But if somebody say ouch, you cannot beat them to the ground.
That's real.
You can't beat them to the ground once they verbalize that something is hurting them, right? I think it's more, it probably boils down to being more about the individual that receives that message of how they're gonna handle it. So if you're a mentor on here and you in a child or children, youth come to you and they looking for assistance, they tell you what's going on in their home. If you can't help them, don't hurt them. If you cannot help them, please don't hurt them. Send them to someone else that you think can help them. But don't give them nothing negative to, you shouldn't be going through that. They know they dead wrong. No, if you can't put on your professional hat, stand down. We just ask you to stand down. We got to fix what's going on, man. There's a whole generation being lost due to violence, life being taken. We gotta be sure that we remember where we was on here. So many parents crying, man. So many mothers, they don't have no answers. Some of these killings and murders, these people haven't been caught, and they out there. They want to create the truancy, not the truancy, but the not to be out at a certain time, the curfews. Something comes with that, parents. If because they already had, I just feel like they wasn't enforcing it. But if they catch your child out there and arrest them, I just really believe in a short time they're going to be at home grabbing you too. So if you left the child out there and they come and get you, you still left the child out there. Now you're going to lose everything you have, because eventually they're going to want to charge the parents with something. And the whole time the parents say, I couldn't keep them in the house. They snuck out. You know what I'm saying? You got to get involved. Get involved, whatever that means to you. Get involved and let the conversation start first. Don't just take them out and feel like you took them out and you thought they were going to do better. You didn't know what was going on with them or with her. Have the conversation. Start somewhere. I don't care where you start. Just start somewhere. Create the environment or the space so that can be in, so that they will be open. And one of my suggestions is, if we know home has been a struggle for the connection, then find somewhere else to go, right? Go sit at the park, go sit by the water, go somewhere where, and just sit and just listen as a parent or a mentor, just listen. You will be surprised what they tell you. You don't know if they've been getting molested, robbed, getting their lunch money took, do you? I don't know what people's religion is or what they believe. Me and this brother, we always say a prayer or something before we get off, after we talking good stuff like that. Rick, plug yourself in, man. Tell them how to find you, what you got going on, man, and just take us out with one of them good prayers, man, this good Sunday, man. Hey, I want to thank all of you, ladies and gentlemen, again for joining us. This won't be the last time we doing this. Be sure to tap in with Project Keep Them Off the Streets and some of the awesome things we're doing. Also in April, we normally have an annual game night. We partner with Watchdog for Justice. Y'all look them up and see what they do. Clara King kind of foresees that over there. She's I believe she's a retired Superior Court judge. They come in and do these skits about youth being arrested, like, the whole skit about, your child might be in the car with somebody that got drugs and nobody claims the drugs, or she's with a guy that got a gun, or she sat in the car where he went and robbed somebody. Just all these situations. It'll be in April. We're going to be giving away school supplies. It's going to be food. We're going to have some special guests. I'm thinking about charging y'all $5 at the door, man, because the giveaway is going to be going to be awesome, man. We want to make sure people understand that sometimes you got to pay. You got to pay like you weigh, man. Sometimes to get you what you need. Going to be other organizations and mentors there. So just look for us on our website or stay tuned to our social media. I'm Dr. Harper, president and founder of Project Keep Them Off the Street. Also creative mind at Quetv Multimedia. So if you need commercials, you need your exclusive interview, you need promotion, advertisement of product, services, talent, I let your man. Rick, tell us something.
All right, well, on all platforms, you can catch me on my personal page under Rick Smith, or under the music page, Iron Sharpens Iron Music, or Prime Beatz 1981. Either one, you can get a hold of me on new music production. I'm on deck with that. My music is on all platforms. So on the song I'm really pushing right now, with the shirt is talking about stop killing each other, put the chopper down, PSA. Look up under Prime Beatz with a Z instead of S at the end, PSA, and check out the song, man, and really help me spread the message, man, and stop all these senseless killings, man. Need me at any of your events, you can book me at 904-887-5481. These are kids mentor. We'll pull up anywhere, man. And
I believe we once you put that date in, let us know if you're available, man, because we most definitely want you guys up here in April. We want to just take over the whole night, man, and just this is going to be a stop to violence. This is going to be a safe haven. No game console, all board games, face painting. We might, do a half court. Whatever it takes, man. We can be a family reunion. It could be a gathering of the community and stakeholders. But I hope you guys need us as well as we need you. All the time, it's not about money. I need to hear from you guys sometime just for mental support. You know what I mean? We get a lot of calls, and it's just like looking at news. It's like, man, no, I'm not doing all right. This used to be fun. I'm saying it used to be fun, helping the kids out, but now it's like it's so much needed that it's serious now. It's like a 911. You know what I mean? It's like you got to really like getting calls 2, 3 in the morning. These young folks want you to come get them and get out of bed. I'm just like, I ain't got no insurance, man. I don't know about all that. I don't know what you're into. You know what I'm saying? So parents, stand up, stand on the business as a parent. We know a lot of parents scared of their children. But you can change that though. Let's earn our trust. Let's let them know they can trust us by getting them the help that they need, whatever that is. Just stop being cool with them doing whatever. Don't even, you know, a lot of people's like, man, you know what, my child smoke weed and I just rather for him to do it here than to be out there. How about no? How about just say no sometime? That's not for you, son. That's not for you, daughter. It sound good, look good, some of it smell good, but it ain't good for you. You understand
That's
what I'm
real.
saying? Like, go ahead.
Yeah, that's real, man. You got to be firm with them, man. Let them know you're not their friend. You know, they still got to respect the parent, you know.
Yeah, we got all these drugs out here, man. I know we're gonna talk about that next time, but this fentanyl, man, this is killing folk, man. All you need is a drop, and these people are putting it in their weed, selling it to people, thinking that they're gonna get higher and they're gonna have the best product in the city. Hey, beware, beware. Y'all know I'm just open up. You know, I might not be using the the best quality of conversation or words, but I'm just being open. And sometimes you just got to come real, man. Take the gloves off, man, and let the people know and the parent know that we care. If there's something I can do, contact us, 678-744-8134. We're going to have your information on the page as well. And if some of you guys, ladies, didn't want to say anything tonight and you see this feed, go ahead and put it in the comment section. We're gonna get back to you. We're gonna answer your questions or even, you know, add to what we have. I would love for some of you that have ideas for our organization. We would love to hear your ideas. We would love to implement it, you know. So fret not, you know, this is a community thing. Rick, let's say one of those beautiful prayers right quick, man, but we can get out of here.
All right, man, let's go before the throne. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you for this time to fellowship, Lord, and time to talk about the senseless killing and talk about our youth, Lord. I pray that something was said, Lord, to help somebody with what they may be going through, Lord, with their kids, Lord, or nephews or nieces or whoever it may be, Lord. I pray for each and every household at the sound of my voice, Lord, that every need is provided, Lord, not just monetarily, Lord, but peace, love, joy, unity, communication-wise, everything is on point, Lord. And I just pray for each child represented on this line, Lord, that you would change their hearts and their mindsets if it's not like you, Lord, and bless them to be leaders and not followers, Lord. And I pray for all the men represented on this line, Lord. Show us how to be better husbands, better fathers, better accountability partners to our friends, Lord, and just better in every area of our life, Lord. Bless us to think outside the box and check up on our brothers, Lord, because we never know what they may be going through, Lord. Just pray for this whole nation, Lord, in the senseless killings, Lord, that it would decrease, Lord. We know everything is possible through you, Lord, and we thank you for keeping us. We thank you for loving us, Lord, and we thank you for this very breath that's in our bodies, which is the biggest blessing. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Hey, take care of yourself and each other. Contact somebody, man. Let's stop waiting for something happen. A lot of us have a lot of wonderful ideas and a lot of plans of we're gonna do this and do that. I said it earlier. If you don't make time, you'll never have time. You understand? So I love y'all for free. You did. Hey, happy Sunday. Y'all have an awesome week. Stay safe. Keep your head on the swivel. Rick, that's it?
That's it.
All right, then. Hey, love y'all for free. Take care of yourself and each other, man. Good. Don't go nowhere you can't take God. You heard? Peace out.